Tell us a little story about the Locke Sisters and their importance in owning the distillery in Ireland.
Absolutely. So the Locks, really, the name Locke Distillery came out in the 1840s, and it was bought by a man named John Locke. He bought it at a great time, really, for himself, because the distillery was in a state of really disrepair, and he had a lot of work to do. So he got it at a really great price. But how the women kind of come into the Locke Distillery, essentially, John Locke's his wife, Mary Ann, she was much more involved in the business side of things. But she did amazing things, but she got really heavily involved in the distillery in more so 1868, when unfortunately her husband passed away. So some of the things that she did with the distillery, well, she tripled the actual production in less than 30 years. And with production, obviously, the more you produce, the more taxes you pay. So in Ireland, we had a lot of back and forth with our taxes. At the time, we were part of Great Britain. So, Britain was, really kind of implementing these high tax rates, and people tried to really avoid them, of course, as a result of the taxes, it didn't favour the smaller distilleries, so distilleries closed, and you had more illegal whiskey production. So she's producing so much whiskey, and she's like, hell no, I'm not going to pay all this. So she starts hiding the whiskey in her house. And the tax guys come in and they're looking for it. The tax guys at the time, they really targeted the women, because the women, they were pretty clever, and they could think of the best ways to hide the whiskey. And of course, it was all really men revenue guys, so they couldn't search the women, so they always got away with it. And even in the courtrooms, the women's like, I'm sorry, I'm supporting my family, I have 10 kids, like, what am I going to do? So it'd be a pretty hard judge to turn around and say, off to prison for you. So the women tended to get away with it, and this was the case for Mary Ann. They didn't actually find any of the whiskey in her house, which was good for her. So that was one thing that she did. Another great thing I think she really did for the industry was she really employed a lot of women in the distillery. She had 34 women while she worked there, and she really encouraged that element. She trained them, she developed them, and she really encouraged more women to actually come and work in the distillery. She also, I suppose one of the great things she did for the distillery, actually, she built a lot of trade partnerships with lots of different counties in Ireland, and she sent the whiskey there for them to use as a blend themselves. So that was kind of a great kind of growth during the Locke's distillery time.